Liverpool transfer rumor. Break down Chelsea's Luis Diaz mega offer. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more Liverpool FC updates. We've broken down one of the biggest Liverpool transfer rumors of the week, Luis Diaz to Chelsea. As one of the most prominent clubs in world football, Liverpool are frequently featured in transfer gossip. Each week, they're linked to numerous players. However, most of these rumors are baseless, making it tough to distinguish the credible ones from the fantasy stories. That said, here's a closer look at the latest transfer rumor involving Luis Diaz and Chelsea. Luis Diaz to Chelsea? According to Colombian news outlet Antena 2, Chelsea are reportedly interested in signing Diaz. The London club is said to be preparing a move for the winger and believes they can persuade him to make the switch to Stamford Bridge. Chelsea's plan to attract Diaz involves offering him a substantial pay rise, with hopes of making him their highest-paid player, or at least putting him in line with the top earners at the club. The report also mentions that Liverpool could be open to selling Diaz, as they are keen to avoid letting his contract run down. There are other suitors as well, but Chelsea, despite their poor form, are on the lookout for a player in his prime, and Diaz might be just what they need to reinvigorate their team. Would Liverpool sell Luis Diaz? The short answer is yes. Liverpool could certainly sell Diaz. In fact, Anfield Watch exclusively revealed this weekend that the club is planning a major overhaul of their attacking options, and Diaz is expected to be part of this transformation. Liverpool are reportedly prepared to offload the Colombian forward this summer for a significant fee. Diaz remains on his original contract with Liverpool and hasn't received the usual pay raise offered to players performing at a high level. This could explain why Diaz might be interested in moving elsewhere. Despite discussions about a new contract this season, Diaz reportedly rejected Liverpool's offer, as it didn't meet his expectations. The Reds are clearly not considering him as one of their top-tier players, making his departure more likely. Given that Diaz's contract expires in 2027, Liverpool may look to sell him this summer while his market value is still strong. If they wait another year, his value could drop considerably as he enters the final year of his contract. Could Chelsea sign Diaz? This is an interesting scenario. At 28, Diaz is older than the players Chelsea's new ownership has typically been targeting. The club's transfer strategy under the new regime has primarily been focused on securing young talent with long-term potential, and Diaz doesn't quite fit that mold. Nevertheless, a move for a player in his prime could make sense for Chelsea, especially considering their ongoing struggles to find a consistent winger. Jadon Sancho, who is on loan and has an obligation to be signed in the summer, hasn't made much of an impact at Chelsea. Mykhailo Mudryk, who arrived with high hopes, has been a massive disappointment and even failed a drug test this season. Given these setbacks, a move for Diaz could be seen as a more reliable option, potentially signaling a shift in Chelsea's transfer policy as they enter the next phase of their rebuild. Will it happen? In terms of Liverpool's willingness to sell, they likely wouldn't have any major objections to selling Diaz to a Premier League rival. The issue, however, lies with Diaz himself. Clubs like Barcelona have also been linked with him, and Chelsea's lack of Champions League football next season could be a tough sell to a player at the peak of his career, especially when considering his potential to play at the highest level in Europe. If Chelsea can offer Diaz a lucrative contract, they may have a solid chance of securing his signature, unless there's interest from other wealthy clubs, such as those in Saudi Arabia. However, if Diaz is looking for a move that allows him to become a true star, something Liverpool hasn't really provided him with, Chelsea's pursuit could fall short. Kai Havertz's injury could fast-track Liverpool transfer. Liverpool are closely monitoring the situation after Arsenal's Kai Havertz was ruled out for the rest of the season due to a hamstring injury. The injury, which occurred during a training camp in Dubai, will keep Havertz sidelined for the remainder of the campaign. This is a significant blow for Arsenal, especially since Havertz has been a key player in their attacking lineup. Arsenal, having already struggled with injuries in their forward line, are now even thinner on options. The injury comes just 2 weeks after the transfer window closed, leaving Arsenal with little room for reinforcements. From Liverpool's perspective, this could be seen as a positive development, as it weakens one of their competitors. However, it could also create long-term comp.
Manchester United are reportedly preparing to make over 100 staff members redundant in yet another sweeping round of job cuts, which club executives have described as a necessary measure. This decision follows a series of financial restrictions that have been implemented since Sir Jim Ratcliffe's Ineos company took control of the club's sporting operations after investing £1.2 billion in December 2023. Under the new leadership, the club has faced widespread economic constraints, which have led to the reduction of various perks and expenses, such as free cereal bars for stewards and cuts to charity donations. This move comes on the back of a significant reduction in staff last summer when approximately 250 non-playing employees were let go as part of a broader financial overhaul. United have acknowledged the risk of violating the Premier League's stringent financial regulations if they do not take steps to balance their books, prompting this new wave of cost-saving initiatives. The redundancies, which are expected to affect employees across the club, will notably target the sporting side of operations, reflecting the ongoing changes across the organization. The report from The Athletic highlights that the cuts, expected to affect more than 100 staff members, were not announced in advance to the affected employees. This redundancy round is expected to result in significant financial savings for the club. It is believed that the previous redundancy cycle, which involved the so-called Employee Redundancy Program, saved the club between $40 million and $45 million, though it came at a cost of around $10 million to implement. Now, several months later, the club has returned to restructuring measures, largely attributed to the men's team's disappointing performance on the field. The team's failure to qualify for this season's Champions League has had a significant impact on the club's finances, as United missed out on the substantial revenue that comes with participating in Europe's top-tier competition. While United earned around £18.9 million from their Europa League group stage, clubs in the Champions League earned between £60 million and £80 million, highlighting the financial gap. As they currently languish in 13th place in the Premier League standings, United's hopes of securing a spot in next season's Champions League rely on winning this season's Europa League competition. In addition to the lost revenue from the Champions League, United are also facing a reduction in their lucrative sponsorship deal with kit supplier Adidas. If the club fails to qualify for the Champions League again next season, the deal is set to be slashed by approximately $8 million per year. Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who took charge of the sporting side of Manchester United, is no stranger to harsh cost-cutting decisions. The British billionaire's company, Ineos, has faced its own financial challenges. Notably, Ineos has been involved in a legal dispute with New Zealand Rugby after failing to meet a payment deadline, which they attributed to what they referred to as the deindustrialization of Europe. This new round of job cuts is likely to fuel further concerns about the future direction of the club, as well as the growing tension between financial pragmatism and the club's ambition to return to its former glory. The combination of financial pressure, on-field struggles, and the broader economic climate has put Manchester United in a precarious position, and the coming months may determine whether they can recover both on and off the pitch. The situation raises broader questions about the financial sustainability of top football clubs in a rapidly changing economic landscape, where financial regulations and sponsorship deals play a crucial role in a club's ability to compete at the highest level. As Manchester United moves forward with its restructuring efforts, it remains to be seen whether these changes will pave the way for a more stable and successful future, or if they will continue to hinder the club's ambitions for glory. The staff redundancies, while painful for those affected, are seen as a necessary measure to ensure the long-term viability of the club. However, the club's supporters and critics alike will undoubtedly continue to scrutinize the impact these changes will have, not only on the club's operations, but also on its ability to attract and retain top talent, both on the field and within the organization as a whole. With mounting pressure to succeed and a need to cut costs, Manchester United's financial strategy will continue to evolve, and the coming months could determine the future trajectory of one of the world's most iconic football clubs.